Hi guys, Boggler here. I just completed a 3-day event in Sherbrooke at Pub Montague in Wellington in downtown Sherbrooke, which if you ever get a chance to check out is a really nice place. Sherbrooke is also a really nice town or city, might be one of the bigger towns or cities in Quebec. I guess that's really nice. Probably something for you guys to go check out. The battle plan was in the presence of idols, and I wound up getting paired up against Frederic Prou, who was playing his Ironjawz Bloodtoofs list. My list was the Nighthaunt Scarlett Doom, and I took Grand Strategy. This is an old one. My Grand Strategy was Flight or Fright, but my list is generally 30 Blade Geists, 3 Spirit Hosts, 5 Hex Race, 2 Chain Rasps, and my idea was that I was going to hold on to these 30 Bladegeist and really try to bring them back and have them as like the hammer and anvil for the army. Playing Presence of Idols. I knew they would be one of the idols. I knew I needed the Cruciator. I knew that bounty hunters were a thing now. I just didn't know how scary the bounty hunters were. Like, honestly, when I took a look at this earlier in my other video, I thought that I would be able to deploy in a way where I'm 18 inches away from my opponent, and if they're fast, they'll be able to alpha me, and the 30 block will be able to hold. The idea was to hold 1, hold 2, maybe get desecrate their lands, maybe get barged through, maybe get a gaining momentum. If they kill with something of mine, then we'll get eye for an eye. I had a pretty good plan of what I wanted to do. I just didn't really know how scary the Ironjawz were. This is Freddy's list. It's Mega Boss Maw Crusher, Destroyer, Fast Stun, the Mega Boss who's a wizard now, the Arcane Tome, Master Magic, and reroll that Hand of Gork. 2 War Chanters, makes the Gorgruntus damage 3. Against pretty much everything that I have except for the Hex Race. And then the 3 units of Gorgruntas are pretty scary units in the Bounty Hunters. Ardboys can act as a screen. Same with Morgoth's Crushes. And then the big unit of Brutes to kind of mop things up and go where they need to go to do stuff that you need Galley Vets to do. I really like this list. I designed this list about a month ago when I saw that it came out, because I was like, what, bounty hunters, Gorgruntas, pretty simple minds. Everyone's gonna know that these things are just scary in the new meta. Looking at the way things were, I'll show you some of the deployment, but yeah, he selected his Mega Boss and 2 units of Gorgruntas to be his idols. That would mean the Battle Shock wouldn't really be a thing. And trying to move forward, let's take a look at some of the stuff as we go. This is my car on the morning out. Might be getting a little bit too old to get up at 6 in the morning and drive to one-day events. But honestly, we all need to try to get some games of Age of Sigmar in by any means necessary, and my other rule is that my army has to fit into this little filing tray that's magnetized, and it just sits with me in the car, and I don't put any models away. I don't wrap anything. They're just magnetized. They sit like that, and when I get home, they go back on the tray, and that's it. And my Austin Weird Knobs cheat sheets, Bagel, obviously, from Montreal. So that's it. This is a picture of Freddy's army. It's pretty cool. I like the color scheme. It's nicely done. It's not just great plastic. Morgoth's Crushes, I guess, will take some work, but that is really okay. Freddy was a really good guy. Here's the deployment. We're measuring it out. It's a game of deployment. I guess where we'll get to is I really should have done better. I should have done better measuring. That's always a thing. But it's going to be a tough in this meta up against these Gorgruntas. At the end of the day, I was an 8-drop. He was an 11-drop. I knew his general plan. I knew he was going to pocket his Mega Boss on Maw Crusher here. These guys can run to grab this objective, otherwise they're slow. The Hex Race, the general plan was to come kind of take this objective, and then the units of Hex Race, one can drop here, one can drop here. He did well zoning at the back of his board. I totally forgot that Hex Race get +1 to wound on the, the Chain Rasp get +1 to wound on the charge. I didn't remember that rule until game 3. I know they used to re-roll 1s to wound, but yeah, really no excuse there. If you take a look at the table, the scenery, it's good. Here's Freddy, nice, ready to have a good game. It's the beginning. I gave him turn. This is Mighty Destroyers. As you can see, I removed my Chain Rasps. Gave him first. I just didn't know the damage that was going to be done. That's really on me. In the future, I don't know if I take these back. They'd have to be deployed like 5 inches back. So you'd have to have a screen. A screen of 10 Chain Rasps. So you're basically just giving them away for free. And then they would have to be 5 inches back, or like 5 inches back or more, because they're just going to go into the screen and then they're going to pile on their 3 inches. I know the Gorgrunches have a 2-inch reach. The Mega Boss is not so dangerous, but he's just going to go into the screen. He's going to stomp. They're going to die, and then the Gorgrunches are going to be able to pile in afterwards. So you're not going to do a lot of damage, but I'm going to have to really readjust on how I'm going to handle the situation moving forward, because the day had, oh my gosh, like 50 Gorgrunches total. One guy had 21. He's got 9. There was another 15. I'm bad at math, but you guys can figure it out. Here he's lining up for his Mighty Destroyers move. As you can see, still kind of in the pocket here. I thought that I had stuff well enough, so I would have the Cruciator in range. And here's Freddy going. He's got priority. His tactic was against the odds. He's just going to go cap this objective. This one. So he's going to get 1, 2, hold more. That's a good first turn. And he doesn't even have to kill anything of mine, and he's already got 5 points. So that's it. The Mega Boss went in. Didn't really do a lot of damage. He popped Destroyer, and with the 4-up saves and 6-up ward, I was able to handle a lot of the damage. The problem was Roar was used, turned off Discorporate, which I thought was huge. I am dumb. I didn't think that that was going to be the case. But as I'm taking the models away, I probably should have taken them away from here first. And then here, I knew he wasn't going to kill the whole 30, so I knew I would get something to fight back with. I probably should have concentrated more to try to get these double ranks fighting somewhere. And then these guys got a 3d6 charge. He got a big charge to get from here to here, and he got all of these units into my whole line first turn, and only 3 of them were from Mighty Destroyer. So it's fast. Gorgrunches are fast, and that's how we go. After the Mega Boss was done, all this dead, a bunch of my saves, some are alive. These ones were left. I decided to kind of concentrate on trying to kill some of these guys. I knew with the fight back, -1 Rend against some Gorgrunches. Maybe like Olelinder's arranged to try to do a 5-up turn off, but it's a 5-up. There's no chance. And at the end of the day, once these guys attacked, these guys actually did more damage than the Mega Boss. So I wound up doing 4 wounds to these Gorgrunches. My entire unit of 30 Bladegeist Revenants were dead. That was huge. Moving into turn 2, I had to figure what to do. So this is kind of turn 2. As you can see, I don't have much left. I'm going to do my best to try to fight back. I chose Desecrate. I was going to drop down here and take the scenery piece, hopefully disrupt some things, and see what I could do. If I win priority on turn 2, maybe I can try to move some stuff around, but wasn't really looking too good for the Nighthaunt at this point. As you can see here, Erlinder came through this way. Kurdos came through and finished off these Gore-Gruntas. The Mega Boss on Maw Crusher. I knew if I could clean up these and then clean these ones up, then I would have a decent chance of coming into the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher in the middle. I knew I could take against the odds and do it this one. Here I mismeasured here. The distance between here, I couldn't get anything on the objective, so I guess in hindsight you have to be within 3 inches of the terrain, so in hindsight I would have capped it. But yeah, it's just a bad play from my part. Really, really sloppy deployment, but still a really fun game. Like, I thought that I was in it. I lost the 30 Blade Geist. I really thought I was in it turn 2. I knew there was stuff to be done. Here, Kurdos is dead. I've cleaned up some of the pigs. Mega Boss on Maw Crusher got a redeploy. So the Spirit Host got in somehow. Spirit Hosts got in. Lady Olinder didn't get her charge. Redeploy is just so strong, so you move the Spirit Host within 3. Lady O moved. She couldn't do anything. Hexrace were trying to handle these Gore-Gruntas. I have units fighting up here. The Chain Rasp eventually wound up taking care of the Ard boys. But in a points game, Freddy on his turn 2, he took gaining momentum. So he's coming back. He's going to kill something and control more objectives than I do. So, very smart player. I think Freddy's played way more games than I have, which is okay. It's okay in this case, but the deployment was a real mess. Here, he still controls his 2 objectives. Turn 3, I got priority again. I wound up doing eye for an eye. I got it, but I'm down big time on points. The end of round 3, he did eye for an eye, and he's at 15, and I've got 7. So down 15 to 7. I thought I was going to get a bonus point somewhere. I thought the game was going to be close. I didn't roll poorly. I thought that the dice gods were really fair. Just wound up getting my spells. Lady O wound up doing some mortals, and as the theme today, she was one of the last ones standing. She had 3 wounds here. I think I retreated, killed this guy, healed, and then went back into the Maw Crusher. The Chain Rasp finished off the Ard boys and then set up a pretty good duel in the back corner here with these Chain Rasps versus both War Chanters. As you can see, they're setting it up. Lady O did go down. I have this objective. My Chain Rasps, I thought, were going to do better for me. I should just use them as screens. And as you can see here, here's the end of the game. There's not much more I can do. I've got 2 units of Chain Rasps. Everything else is dead. Freddy's just playing out some of the battle tactics he can do. The Mega Boss got his teleport, so he can take Desecrate and Barge, which gives him a perfect game. He's got 25 points to my 7 on, and I'm just completely tabled. Really fun game. If you take a look at the board state now, really fun game. Eventually these guys are going to go over and kill the Chain Rasp. It won't matter. He can stomp away now. There's no more hunters. So it's a strong list, the Gore-Gruntas. I think this in the meta, you take a look at the meta, it's a list that you're going to see quite often. If you want to make it to top tables or go 3-0, you're going to have to beat this list. This is very simple. There you go. I would make the Mega Boss the General, maybe give him Hulking Brute 2, but the Mega Boss, Master of Magic Arcane Tome to teleport and do some Mighty Destroyer shenanigans. if they leave a space in the back of the board, you can really do a lot of stuff with the Gorgruntas. They're a strong unit. 170 points. You know, the Rend wasn't really effective against me, but I think it's really, really good. And he wanted that +1 to wound Triumph. He used it. He popped that +1 to wound Triumph on the first turn when he tried to kill the 30 Blade guys, and he failed. Like, he didn't do too well with the Destroyer, but just getting sandwiched by all those other Gorgruntas that are so fast was not good. In hindsight, if I take a look at this, so hard to know. So I give him first turn, right? I am 18 inches away. Do I want to gamble on a 10-inch charge and try to get in there and disrupt what he's doing? Do I want to put them in the sky and then try to gamble on a 9-inch charge? Do I want to put 3 units in the sky and then really gamble on their 9-inch charge? If I put these guys in the sky and then I'm going back to try to figure out what to do, like I remove these 3 units, the Chain Rust Blade guys, and then I give them first turn, then all my characters are kind of here, and these Gorgruntas would have gotten into my character's first turn anyways. So I would have had to deploy them further back, and then maybe give him first turn, see where he wants to go, and then try to get a bunch of 9-inch charges. Is that really my game plan? Is that Nighthaunt's plan? Roll a bunch of 9s? It's not valid. Lunchtime now. Here's the beer list. It's beer and patio time. I had this, the Solstice d'été. It's a raspberry beer. So delicious. So delicious. I also had the Macallan cider, which was good, a little bit sweet for me. But if you're in this part of town, in Sherbrooke, Pub Montague, really go take a look. It is a fantastic venue. I'm just so happy to go. And some parting shots for you as I enjoy my lunch. Thanks for watching, guys.